Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful blueprint for transformation. It's something that can apply to pretty much any organization, and it works by blending timeless management wisdom with some of the most cutting-edge artificial intelligence out there.
So let's start with a bit of a riddle. What on earth could a legendary management guru and a robot lawyer possibly have in common? I know it sounds like the beginning of a weird joke, right? But the answer actually connects decades of proven strategy with the most powerful tech of our time. And that connection, it's way more profound than you might think.
The key to that riddle starts right here, with this powerful idea from the brilliant management consultant Vicente Falconi. He basically says that just having information isn't power. I mean, let's be honest, we're all drowning in data. The real power, he says, comes from the knowledge we get when we actually analyze all that information to figure out what's truly going on. And that is our big idea for today. You see, successful transformation isn't just about buying the latest, shiniest tech. It's about combining powerful tools like AI with a disciplined, universal method for actually solving problems. We're going to explore how this combination is turning entire industries on their head, using the legal world as our main example.
Okay, so before we can really dig into the method, we all have to get on the same page about what managing really is. And it all comes down to a surprisingly simple but really powerful definition of a problem.
Falconi's work just brilliantly reframes this whole idea. A problem isn't a failure. It's not something to be embarrassed about. It's simply any result you don't like and want to improve. Are your costs too high? That's a problem. Is your team not hitting its target? That's a problem. This simple little shift in thinking makes problem-solving the absolute core engine of management.
So what's the engine for solving all these problems? It's this, the PDCA cycle. It's a continuous four-step feedback loop that just keeps going. You plan by digging into the problem and creating an action plan. You do it. You actually execute the plan. Then you check to see if your actions actually got you the results you wanted. And finally, you act. You either standardize what worked so it becomes the new normal, or you go right back to the planning phase to try something else. It's a universal method for getting better, all the time.
And this shows so clearly that management really has two gears. You use the PDCA cycle to solve what we can call good problems. That means you're reaching for ambitious new goals, you're trying to hit new heights. But once you get there, you switch gears to the SDCA cycle. Standardize, do, check, act. That's for solving bad problems by making sure you lock in those gains and don't slip backwards.
All right, so we've got the method. It's classic, it's proven. But does it actually work in the real world today? Let's see what happens when you combine this framework with modern AI, and we'll throw it into a field that is absolutely drowning in complexity, the legal world. And let me tell you, this isn't just theory. In the legal world, when you apply this methodical approach with AI tools, the results are, well, they're staggering. Take e-discovery. You know, that agonizing process of digging through digital mountains of documents for evidence. By using AI methodically, firms are seeing returns on their investment of over 500%. No, that's not a typo. 500. Now, what's so interesting here is just the sheer scale of the improvement. It's not even a fair fight. One case study looked at reviewing about 25,000 documents. Using AI instead of human lawyers dropped the cost by 83%. The time it took slashed by a massive 91%. And get this, it even cut the number of errors by 80%. The method works.
And it's not just the big private law firms making a killing. As you can see here, public prosecutors are using the exact same playbook. For example, they had a problem where formatting legal petitions was eating up 60% of their time. So they used some automation to teach software to do it. Boom, 70% time reduction. They used AI that understands language to review contracts 80% faster. They even used machine learning to classify legal cases with 90% accuracy. This is the method in action. Find a specific problem, solve it with a specific tool.
These results are absolutely incredible. But you don't get them by just plugging in a new piece of software and hoping for the best. It doesn't work that way. It requires a really clear, methodical roadmap to make it happen successfully.
A successful rollout almost always follows these 4 phases. You start with discovery, where you map out how you work to find the best spots for automation. Then, you build a minimum viable product, or an MVP, to prove the concept fast with a small-scale win. If that works, then you scale it and roll the solution out to the whole team. And finally, and this is key, it becomes a continuous cycle of optimization and improvement. Does that sound familiar? It's basically the PDCA cycle, but for technology.
So here's the crucial part. You can have the perfect method, you can have the most powerful tools in the world, but the biggest hurdle, the biggest wall you're going to hit, it's usually not the tech. It's us. It's the human factor.
Yeah, the data on this is crystal clear. The biggest obstacle isn't the technology, it's the culture. A recent study found that for 60% of lawyers, the main thing holding them back isn't cost or how complex the tool is. It's a simple lack of trust in what the AI is telling them.
But here's what's so fascinating. This fear, it's not really about being replaced. Look at this. A full 64% of lawyers believe AI is just going to automate certain tasks, not take their jobs entirely. Only 1%, sees it as a total replacement. The common view is that AI is a co-pilot, a tool that frees them up to focus on the more strategic, high-value work.
So how do you overcome that skepticism? Well, it takes good old-fashioned change management. It means you involve your team right from day one. You have to be transparent about how the tech works. You prove its value as small pilot projects that get you quick wins. And you have to get visible, vocal support from your leadership to champion the change.
And this quote highlights a whole new reality. To get value from these incredible tools, you need new skills. As one legal executive put it, lawyers have to learn how to ask the AI the right questions. This art and science of prompt engineering, it's quickly becoming a critical skill for getting the right answers from the machine. All right, let's bring it all home. We've seen the method, we've seen the tools in action, so how does all of this come together to form a universal blueprint that any organization can use to transform itself? We come full circle, back to Falcone. He defines leadership as consistently hitting your goals with your team and doing it the right way. And that becomes truly possible when you have a clear method, supported by the right tools that empowers everyone in the organization to solve problems.
Ultimately, what this all means is that this structured approach takes all the mystery out of innovation. It transforms what feels like a giant leap in the dark into a calculated, methodical step towards becoming a smarter, more agile, and way more effective organization. It turns a risk into a huge competitive advantage.
So we're going to end with a question for you. Every single organization has problems, those undesirable results that you want to improve. We've seen today that the solution isn't just to go out and buy new tech. It's about fusing that tech with the right method and empowering your people. This blueprint isn't just for lawyers or giant corporations. It's for anyone. So take a hard look at your own team, at your own challenges, and ask yourself, what is our method?